All right, let's get into it. The European Union is rolling out something that could completely change how we think about, well, everything we own, from our clothes to our phones. It's called the Digital Product Passport, and it's about to make our stuff a whole lot more talkative.
No, really, just think about that for a second. What if that phone in your hand or the jacket you're wearing could tell you its entire life story with a simple scan? Where its parts came from, who put it together, and exactly what to do with it when you're done. This isn't science fiction anymore. It's the core idea behind a huge new plan from the EU.
So here's what we're going to cover. We'll start with what these passports even are. Then we'll look at why this is happening, what's inside them, and who has to follow the new rules. We'll weigh the benefits against the hurdles. And finally, look at what this all means for the future of how we shop. Okay, first things first, what exactly is this big idea? Let's nail down a clear definition. A digital product passport, or DPP, is basically a product's digital twin. Think of it as a complete file that travels with an item from the moment its raw materials are sourced all the way to your home and even beyond. All you have to do is scan a simple QR code or an NFC tag, and you can unlock all this information about that specific item's journey. So why the big push for this right now? Well, this isn't just happening out of the blue. The DPP is actually a key piece of a much, much bigger strategy in Europe. The big picture here is the EU's Green Deal, and the goal is incredibly ambitious, to make the entire continent climate neutral by the year 2050. To even have a shot at that, you have to fundamentally change how things are made, how they're used, and what happens to them at the end of their life. And that massive goal breaks down into a few key missions. The EU wants to get away from that old take, make, waste economy and move to a circular one, where products are actually built to last and are easy to repair, reuse, and recycle. It's also about cracking down on greenwashing and giving us, the shoppers, the real info we need to make better choices. And you should know this isn't just a friendly suggestion, it's the law. The whole DPP system is powered by something called the Eco-Design for Sustainable Products Regulation, or ESPR for short. This officially kicked into gear in July of 2024, and it sets the stage for everything that's coming next. Okay, so what kind of info are we actually talking about here? What secrets could your next pair of shoes be hiding inside that little QR code? It's going to be incredibly detailed. You've got the basics, of course, like a unique product ID, but the biggest chunk of data is about materials and the supply chain. Like, where did the cotton for this t-shirt actually come from? Who put this phone together? Then you've got sustainability info, like its carbon footprint. And crucially, practical stuff, like how to repair it or where to recycle it, plus all the official safety and compliance documents. And the best part? Getting to this information is designed to be super simple. You see a tag on the product, you scan it with your phone, and boom, the whole story just opens up right there. It's all about making this kind of transparency easy to access right when you're about to make a decision. This is a massive change, so who exactly needs to get on board with this, and when does it all start? Well, the good news for companies is that it's a phased rollout, not all at once. The very first requirements are set to kick in for batteries as early as February 2025. Then, by mid-2026, the plan is to have a central EU database up and running to verify all these passports. After that, it'll spread across all the other key industries through 2030. So which products are first in line? The guinea pigs, so to speak, will be batteries, especially for electric cars, along with textiles and electronics. These were picked because, well, they have really complex supply chains and a pretty big environmental footprint, which makes them the perfect candidates for this kind of transparency push. And we're not just talking about a few things here. The scope is huge. By the end of the decade, the EU is aiming to have up to 30 different product groups covered. We're talking furniture, cleaning products, toys, construction materials, pretty much everything. This is going to become the new normal. Now, an idea this big comes with some amazing opportunities, but also some pretty serious challenges. Let's look at both sides of the coin. For us as consumers, the upside is pretty clear. We get the real story behind what we're buying. You could check if a designer bag is the real deal, or get the exact instructions you need to repair something. For brands, it's a way to prove their green claims are legit, get a much better handle on their own supply chains, and maybe even build new businesses around repair services. And for the authorities, it makes it way easier to spot false claims and unsafe products. This quote really highlights a huge opportunity for businesses. The DPP doesn't just have to be a boring compliance task. It can be a new way to connect with customers. It's a chance for a brand to build real trust by telling its story directly to the people buying its products. But let's be real, getting this done is not going to be easy. The vision is this beautiful, seamless flow of data. The reality? It's incredibly complex. Some companies testing this out are collecting over 110 different data points for a single piece of clothing. That takes a massive investment in new technology and, probably the hardest part, a ton of coordination between suppliers, product teams, IT departments, the whole shebang. So, with all that in mind, what does this future of shopping actually look like? Well, this isn't just a theory anymore. Some of the biggest brands out there are already putting these ideas to the test. For instance, the fashion brand Nobody's Child is going all in on this. Luxury giants like Chanel and Gucci are already using it to fight counterfeits. You've got Boss embedding NFC tags in their ski jackets, and brands like Pangea and Chloe using it to prove their eco-friendly claims. So you see, the future is already here, just in little pockets. And that really is the big picture here. The digital product passport is a tool designed to completely rewire our economy. The goal is to make transparency the default setting for every single product, so that sustainability isn't some special feature, but just the basic expectation. Which brings us to the final question, and this one's for you. If you had this power in your hands, this ability to see the complete story of a product before you decide to buy it, would you actually use it? Do you think it would change your decision? That is the question that's going to decide just how revolutionary this whole thing really becomes.